Three things God does when he calls you. When God calls someone, he first colleges them. This process involves revealing their purpose and capacitating them with the necessary abilities, which is symbolic of their anointing. Before commissioning, God ensures you understand your assignment and responsibilities through training and guidance. Your calling, marked by your anointing or ability, is revealed and nurtured during this period. No external force can take away your calling because God's gifts are irrevocable. However, the enemy might target your personality, so God places covenanted mentors in your life to guide and protect you. Revealing assignment. Through colleging, God reveals your specific assignment. The story of Paul in the Bible exemplifies this. Paul was called and anointed by God, but he needed Ananias to help him understand his mission. Similarly, in a community of believers, spiritual protocols are followed to ensure growth and preparation for your assignment. Violating these protocols can lead to limitations in fulfilling your calling. Therefore, understanding and abiding by spiritual protocols is crucial. Commissioning. After colleging and revealing your assignment, God commissions you. This final step involves formal recognition and sending forth into your mission. The journey of great biblical figures like Moses, Joshua, and even Jesus shows that God uses people to help and authorize you in your calling. For example, Jesus was recognized and baptized by John the Baptist before beginning his ministry. This shows the importance of mentorship and spiritual guidance in fulfilling your God-given purpose. 5 things that are blocking God's blessings in your life. Sometimes, without realizing it, we become our own stumbling blocks. We wonder why our prayers seem unanswered and if we've done something wrong. The truth is, God's blessings flow constantly like a river, full of healing, hope, and miracles. However, our actions, choices, and attitudes can obstruct these blessings. Unforgiveness is like carrying a heavy rock that slows us down. The Bible tells us in Matthew 6:14, "For if you forgive others when they do wrong to you, your Father in heaven will also forgive you." Forgiving others sets us free and allows God's blessings to flow into our lives. Doubt and lack of faith. Doubt clouds our spiritual vision. James 1:6 says, "But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind." Doubt prevents us from fully embracing God's blessings. In the Bible, Peter walked on water by faith, but began to sink when he doubted. Faith, even in uncertainty, allows God's guidance to transform into blessings. Disobedience causes us to lose our way. 1 Samuel 15:22 says, "To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams." God's path is always for our good, and obedience ensures we stay on the right route. The story of King Saul in 1 Samuel 15 shows the consequences of disobedience. Following God's directions prevents many problems and heartaches. Pride leads to self-reliance and blocks God's blessings. Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." The story of King Uzziah in 2 Chronicles 26 illustrates the dangers of pride. Trusting in God's wisdom over our own opens up a world of blessings, peace, and true success. Neglect of prayer and praise. Philippians 4:6 reminds us to pray and give thanks in everything. Prayer and praise anchor us to God's presence, allowing his blessings to flow into our lives. The story of Jonah shows the importance of staying connected to God. Consistent prayer and heartfelt praise attract God's blessings and keep us close to him. Forbidden knowledge. Why the Ethiopian Bible was banned. Ethiopia, an ancient and remarkable land located in the Horn of Africa, holds a significant place in history as the cradle of many early civilizations. Ethiopia was home to Africa's most ancient kingdom and one of the world's first monarchies. Unique among African nations, it developed its own alphabet over 2,000 years ago and maintained independence against European colonizers. This video delves into the hidden and controversial story of the Ethiopian Bible, a sacred text actively used in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church but banned and suppressed by various rulers throughout history. The Kingdom of Aksum, emerging around the 1st century AD, controlled much of the Horn of Africa, trading with Rome and India. Aksum adopted Christianity in the 4th century AD, and despite invasions by Islamic forces in the 7th century, the Christian legacy continued with the Zagwe and Solomonic dynasties. The Solomonic dynasty, claiming descent from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, ruled Ethiopia for over 700 years, with Emperor Menelik II famously defeating the Italians in 1896. The Ethiopian Bible, known for its extensive canon of 88 books, includes texts like the Books of Enoch and Jubilees, which are not found in the traditional Western Bible. Some Ethiopian tribes have worshipped the God of Israel for over 3,500 years, predating the introduction of Christianity to Ethiopia in the 4th century. The Ethiopian Bible's unique content led to its suppression by European colonizers and missionaries. These European powers, particularly during the 19th and 20th centuries, viewed the Ethiopian Bible's divergent texts and interpretations as heretical. They sought to control Ethiopia by promoting their versions of Christianity and marginalizing the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The suppression was also driven by colonial ambitions to dominate Ethiopian culture and religion. The apocryphal or deuterocanonical books in the Ethiopian Bible, such as Enoch, Jubilees, Tobit, Judith, Baruch, Sirach, and the Maccabees, provide a rich narrative not found in the Protestant or Catholic Bibles. These texts were banned by some Christian branches due to doctrinal differences and exclusion from the Hebrew Bible, yet they remain central to the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. This is the end of this episode. Follow for more.